November 26, 2022. Halfcast 378, episode 378. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? Utah man hit with multiple charges for holding razor against woman's neck who ignored him during a flight. The flight from JFK to Salt Lake City is a little bit under 6 hours. It's about 5 hours, 47 minutes. So you mean to tell me this grown ass, but still somehow prepubescent man couldn't sit next to this woman for a few hours without thinking she was supposed to be his girlfriend for the trip? Nobody's obligated to talk to you, man. The same thing that was getting you ignored on the ground is getting you ignored in the air. A Utah man who threatened to slit a woman's throat on a JetBlue flight has been charged with assault. The potentially deadly situation occurred on November 21st when Merrill Darrell Thackrell, one whopper of a name, boarded a flight at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City, headed to Salt Lake City, Utah. Hello, my name is Merrill Darrell Thackrell. That's half the flight right there. You're not parched from saying all that? Thackrell was seated next to the window with a woman in the middle seat next to him. He tried to talk to the victim, who eventually tuned him out by putting headphones in and watching a movie on her laptop. Rightfully so. This woman was already in a bad spot because I just know this guy was giving off some very weird energy from the very beginning. But then you got to make a decision of, do you tell him, I'd rather not, or do you just completely ignore him? I'd rather not. I think I'm going to try that. Thackrell then put a razor close to her neck and told her to pause the film. The victim's husband, she's sitting next to her whole husband while this is all going down, who was seated in the aisle, immediately got up to alert a flight attendant. Wait a minute. We don't know what would have happened if he would have switched seats with his wife, but he should have switched seats with his wife. It's the whole vibe of let the other passengers call for help, but I'm not going to divert my attention. I'm going to keep my focus solely on my wife. Meanwhile, the frightened woman leaped from her seat to escape the deranged man because her husband wasn't doing anything, causing Thackrell to grab her shoulder. How many of you see some cold, lonely nights on her husband's side of the bed coming up? Another nearby passenger named Rob observed Thackrell holding the razor and forced him to drop it on the seat. Rob's a badass. Unlike some people, Rob gave the flight crew the blade and sat next to Thackrell for the rest of the flight. Before being apprehended by Rob, Thackrell struggled to subdue the woman and yelled that she would be okay. He also ordered the flight crew to land the plane and stated this ain't no 9/11 shit. The biggest question JetBlue should be asking right now is how the hell did that man get that razor through? Once the plane landed, police came onto the aircraft and quickly escorted Thackrell off as he said peace out to the disturbed passengers. You don't get to peace out nobody. They shouldn't have given him a chance to peace out anybody. They should have been kicking him in his testicles all the way up until the police came. Weirdo. On Tuesday, Thackrell, which I'm positive in school they were calling him Fuckrell, was federally charged with assault with a dangerous weapon on or near aircraft and carrying a weapon on a flight. He was appointed a lawyer from a federal public defender's office. It remains unknown if he was able to get a razor blade on the aircraft, which is the biggest concern. Next up, Illinois man robbed 2 banks while on court-supervised release for 2 other bank heists. And with that, he just turned the whole game inside out. You're not going to take that time on the streets to prepare a proper defense. Who needs defense? Defense is for guilty people. An Illinois man was found guilty Last week of robbing 2 banks last year, heists that were committed while he was on supervised release for committing 2 other bank robberies, authorities said. If he was any good, he wouldn't have got caught with the first 2. And then you're going to tack on 2 more? Demontrian Deshaun Phillips. Demon is in his name. That might be just as bad, if not worse, than Merrill Darrell Thackrell. 28 stole $5,930 during an April 27, 2021 robbery from the Midland States Bank in Rockford, and another $4,408 in a robbery of Midland States Bank in Belvedere weeks later, the Justice Department said Tuesday. He was convicted of 4 counts of bank robbery after a 4-day trial. Federal prosecutors said Phillips posed as a customer, points for creativity, and handed the tellers a deposit slip and announced he was robbing the bank. I'm not here to split hairs, but I probably would have put it on a withdrawal slip. In the Belvedere robbery, he threatened a teller by saying, "Don't make me come over the counter," after he wasn't given as much money as he demanded, prosecutors said. "Don't make me come over the counter" sounds a lot like he doesn't have a gun. In which case, you can fuck off. I'm going to lunch. 3 days after that heist, law enforcement searched his Rockford home and found $5,090 in cash hidden in a sock. He's not the quickest minute in the hour, is he? The cash included numerous bills identified by serial numbers as having been stolen from the banks during the 2 heists, authorities said. The robberies were committed while Phillips was on court-supervised release, which is another way to say he had no bail. They let him out on no bail. Following a federal conviction for 2 2017 bank robberies in Rockford, he is scheduled to be sentenced on March 16, 2023. He faces up to 40 years in prison and $500,000 in fines, in addition to court-ordered restitution. $500,000 is a lot of money. It's almost like he'd have to rob a bank to pay it all off. He'll have 40 years to figure it out. Fun show. Fun show. Fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios. All right,